Hey guys, how's it going? Back here again with the RD350 build. This is just the second part, and the first one was like a preview where I just showed you guys the bike and told you a little bit about it and, you know, the basic plan for it. So now what we're going to do is start working on getting the bike running. Now what I usually do when I get a bike, and I got this bike completely not running, I mean I knew it had compression, so as long as it has compression and it's somewhat complete, I feel confident about it. So I knew that, so now that I got it in the shop and I can get to where I work on it, what I like to do is get everything mechanically right before I start doing any kind of modifications as far as the chopping the frame or tires or basically any kind of custom work. I make sure it's good mechanically and run it and drive it and work out the mechanical issues before I start doing the customization of how I want it to look. And I feel like that helps. Not if you do a lot of you paint the engine and do stuff to the frame, and then you get it running, and then you have fuel leaks and oil leaks and all that stuff, then it starts messing up your nice new paint jobs and gets the bike dirty. So if you just knock all that stuff out before you get the bike looking pretty, you're ahead of the game. So what I usually do is figure out what I'm going to do for the intake and what I'm going to do for the exhaust and get those on there, and the fuel system. So start with the fuel system, make sure the tank's clean. You probably need a new petcock. Usually it's just good to go ahead and get a new one of those. Get new fuel lines, get a new fuel filter, make sure all that's set. If you're going to do pods or whatever intake you're going to do, get that set up too. So get that in, get your exhaust, and then jet your carbs accordingly to that, and get the bike running and driving. It's also a good time to do your brakes. Get those in order, so that way once you get the bike built, all you gotta do is throw them on. Without bleeding them and all that stuff. So I've got this bike. I know it has spark. I know it has compression. So I sprayed some starting fluid in it, turned it over, and cranked and ran a little, for a little bit on starting fluid. So I feel confident moving forward with it. And now what I'm going to do is jet the carbs based on what I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing this. This is an aftermarket exhaust. It's not the stock exhaust. I got the bike with this on here, so I'm going to use it. And I'm going to do velocity stacks on the intake. Now, jetting a two-stroke bike. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm eliminating the injection pump on this too, so I'm going to be doing premix. So all those factors go into jetting a bike like this. Four-stroke. Alright guys, so here we are doing the carbs. I've already got them taken apart, cleaned up a little bit. I'm not going to get into how to take apart and clean a carb. There's a lot of videos out there. I personally just use brake parts cleaner and compressed air and clean everything really good. There's a lot of different ways people do things, but that's what works for me and that's what I do. So that being said, figure out what you want to do to clean your carbs, soak them, whatever. Do it. Get the outside how you want it to look before you rebuild it. If you gotta, you know, blast it with soda or soak it, scrub it, whatever, do that, so that way when it's clean, so when you get it jetted, you don't gotta worry about getting anything contaminating in your jets. So now I'm gonna get into doing the actual jetting. So on this bike, I measured the main jet. It says 130. It's actually 1 millimeter. Pilot jet says 25, but it's actually 0.7. So on these carbs, the millimeters don't match up to the number. But anyway, for the main jet, I'm going +4 for the intake, +4 for the exhaust. That's 0.08 millimeters, plus the 1 millimeter. I'm doing 1.08 millimeter, which I'll probably end up doing 1.10, just based on a couple different factors that I'm pre-mixing and not injecting. It's a 2-stroke, might hit a little more, and I don't have a 1.08 drill bit. Pilot jet, you do 1 + 1 pilot for every 3 on the main. So I'm doing +8 on the main, so that means +2.5 on the pilot. So I'm going to do right around 0.725 on the pilot, because that's the 0.7 plus the 2.5. You know, this is a good starting point. You got to run it, check your plugs, and if you need to go lower, you can solder the jets and then re-drill them. A lot of people get all funny about drilling jets. I do it. A lot of people do. A lot of racers do it. It works good. You make the call. So, the next thing I'll show you guys is how I actually drill them. So, what you need to get are sets of these little micro drill bits. So this is like a small set, and then this is a little bit bigger size. And I got these on eBay at cheap, like $10 or something. And actually, I think I got 2 of these for like 10, and then that was like 5. I also got other set, but so these work really good for measuring your jet size, and also drilling them out, because you want to check them first before you drill, in case someone else did something, different jet in there or something. So measure them, and then you can drill accordingly. Now, one of the things about these drill bits is they're really small, and chucking it in that does not work at all. So what I do is I actually do it backwards. I put the drill bit in a vise, and then I take the jet and chuck that into my drill, and then I drill it like that, and it works really well. So that is how I do my jets, and I'm going to get it done, and I'll get back with you when I do that. Alright, so I've got the carbs cleaned, jetted, rebuilt, ready to go. Got the velocity stacks on. Got brand new fuel filters, new fuel line, new petcock. Also got brand new battery, new chain. Got the front brake rebuilt. and a brand new caliper. It's also got new plugs in it. So now it's ready to just get some fuel in it, get it fired up, see how it runs. Alright, here we go. Got her going. First kick, running good. I'm running 32-to-1 premix on it. Seems to be good. Yeah, probably a few bugs to work out, but good starting point. That's it for this video. Till the next one.